Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use a Chef IQ pressure cooker to make really great Philly cheesesteak sandwiches.
What?
Well, it must be good, otherwise I wouldn't be doing a video about it, would I? So you ready? Let's get into this. Alright, for this recipe we're going to need some pretzel bread hoagies, some sliced ribeye steak, diced yellow onions, diced green bell peppers, just a little bit of avocado oil, provolone cheese, a little bit of mayonnaise, and some salt. I've separated this out into two separate portions because we're going to be using it for two different steps. If you'd like to make this recipe, all the ingredients and measurements are down in the description of the video, along with the calorie count, the protein, the carbs, and the fat. This is my Chef IQ pressure cooker, and for this we're going to be using mostly the saute function. So we're going to take off this lid. We're going to pour in our oil, and we're going to set this on the saute function over here. If you don't have a Chef IQ pressure cooker or a smart pressure cooker that has some sort of saute function on it, you could do all this on your cooktop also. So just because you don't have one of these doesn't mean you can't make this recipe. However you do it, I promise it's going to be really easy, but if you have one of these, it's going to be a lot less messy. Anyway, now that we selected sear and saute, I'm going to leave this on manual. And the only setting I'm going to change here is going to be the temperature, where I'm going to put that on high. I don't care about the cooking time because this thing is going to be done far before 30 minutes. So we'll bring this down to continue. It just told me to add the oil, which I've already done, so I can go ahead and start. Now the machine's going to do a little bit of a preheat, so we're going to wait about 3 minutes or so before we go to the next step. After it's done preheating, our first step is going to be to cook the vegetables. So we're going to throw in our onions, our bell peppers, and one of our little things of salt. And we want to cook these until we get these vegetables brown. That is going to take about 12 minutes or so. Just remember to stir these once in a while so you don't get them all burned on one side. And if you got a pot with non-stick surface, be sure you're not using metal utensils on it or anything. Otherwise, you're going to be buying another pot. These things aren't as resilient as you might think. Okay, once we're looking about like that with the vegetables, then it'll be time to add in our beef. So we're going to add in our ribeye. When you slice this, you're going to want to slice these about 1/4 of an inch thick at the very most. So you don't want them any thicker than something like that. Okay. There's our beef. Throw in the rest of our salt and our pepper. And we're going to stir this up. And we're going to want to kind of rinse and repeat the same procedure we were just doing, except this is just to get the beef cooked. This part should probably take someplace around 5 minutes, and you just want to get rid of all that pink is all. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Okay, this meat is looking just about done for me. This is kind of going to depend on you a little bit. Depends on how you like your meat cooked. If you like it a little bit more red, you probably would have stopped this a little bit sooner. If you like it really well done, you can let it go a little bit longer. It's completely up to you. But in my case, I'm ready for the next step here. So it's time to add on the cheese. I'm going to take my 4 slices of provolone. We're just going to lay them right on top here. Just like that. We're going to put the lid on this thing, lock it closed, and we want to make sure the pressure valve is in the vent position, not the pressure position. Very important. Now all we gotta do is wait about a minute or so for it to melt the cheese and we'll be all ready. If you're doing this in a saute pan or something on your cooktop, then you can just take one of your pan lids and put it over the top. Okay, I think this is just about ready, so I can go ahead and stop this. And we're safe to take the lid off since we're in the vent position. Just be careful about steam coming up. Okay, now we can divide this up for our sandwiches. And we'll be ready to plate. In case you haven't noticed, I now have the Joe's Phenomenal merch store online. You can see a few of the products I have available down below the video window. And if you go into Spread Shop from down there, you can see all the rest. I also have a link to the store down in the video description. All proceeds from the store go right back into the YouTube channel to try to make it just a little bit better experience for you. I don't know about you, but Philly cheesesteak sandwiches are definitely one of my go-tos. We have a few places around here that make good ones, and it's really hard to drive on by. If you'd like a little bit more information about the Chef IQ pressure cooker that I used in this video, I do have an Amazon affiliate link to it down in the description. If you buy anything through that link, I do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay 1 cent. If you like this video, I bet you'll like this video right here where I showed you how to use the Chef IQ pressure cooker to make really great steamed lobster tails. That one's a keeper. You're going to want to bookmark it, I guarantee it. Well, that's it for now. I hope to see you back again here really soon, and until that time, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.